over, but I still have questions. It's over, but I still have questions. Sex appeal is so real. 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 Sex appeal is so real.
Hi, welcome back to the X Appeal podcast. So happy to have you here. This episode is really interesting. I don't want to give too much away because everything kind of unfolds in the conversation, but I will vaguely say it's about stretching the bounds of a relationship and then recalibrating. And for me, it's about really believing that someone did their best. And I also think it's interesting here that intention really matters. I could state the facts of what happened and spin it in a particular way, but because this experience took place with a really, really, really nice person, the good feeling is really what lasts. And yeah, this was a very nuanced situation, which is why I really love the podcast format, because we got into everything and didn't just summarize or simplify what happened. Yeah, Christopher rules. And as I say to him in the podcast, there's a real purity between us. So I hope you feel that, and I hope you like it. Okay, enjoy. You like drugs, you like God. You like drugs, you like God. You like drugs, and you like God. Such a delight to see you.
It's a delight to see you too.
It is so fun to see you. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very funny that this is the first time I'm seeing you.
Yeah. I don't, how long? I'm struggling to place that.
It was
it's
right
vague.
before COVID. So it was 3 years ago. It was February of 2020.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really appreciate you coming. I almost feel like you coming is part of the story because, and we'll say everything, but there was a lot of testing stuff out.
Yeah.
And so it's cool for you to maybe go up against or maybe even surpass a little boundary that you've made up for yourself. I think of you as someone who would be great at this and would be great at examining things and talking about feelings and being an artistic person. This is how I think of you. So in a way, it's cool. That was sort of part of the reason why, for a bunch of reasons, I really wanted you on. But I think that was also part of it, was sort of yeah, let's step into power, baby.
A big part of that for me is that, and this is sort of maybe the whole experience, but part of the reason I'm willing to do this, I think, is because you create a, comforting environment.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So we met at a job I had. I'm just going to say that. That would be really funny if I was this exact thing at this address. It was my first job outside of the job I had for many, many years.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think I did a teeny bit of freelance. No, but maybe I think that was actually my first office that I went into after going into one office for so many years in New York. And I walked in and I was like, what is happening? Why is everybody so hot? I was just so overwhelmed. I was like, what is going on? And the first day we all went out to lunch and they paid for lunch and everyone was being funny and hot. And also I was like, well, they're all gay. Definitely. Because they're also well-dressed and hot.
So not the first time that was a reaction, actually.
Yes. The gay thing or the hot thing?
Oh, the gay thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But had people been everyone in this office is hot before?
Not that I had heard.
Cool. Did you have a sense of that? That it was a nice looking crew?
I knew that everyone had a nice sense of or ability to present themselves. And to some degree that felt to go with the flow, or maybe that was a part of how you were kind of brought into the company, was oh, you have an aesthetic.
Ah, yes, that makes sense.
I don't know that I fit into that very well. But I for what I was doing there, I don't know that was quite the same need. But yeah, I think I did think everyone was oh, everyone dresses really nice. And I stepped up my game probably when I got that job.
That's very funny. This was very exciting, and also it was yeah, I don't think I'd worked in a Los Angeles office. And yeah, you all what did you play at 4:00?
Oh God.
Football.
Yeah.
You threw a football.
Let's call it that. There's a very distinctive name.
Okay,
but like,
we don't have to do that. I know, I'm saying I actually
actually
didn't even know.
Yeah.
But there was all these different things. It was like everyone went to lunch. Everyone got coffee together. Everyone threw a football in the parking lot. Like it was so cute. People played music. People drank beers. Like it was a good time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I want to add real quick that if you perceived us all as like hot and stylish, you working there is also probably a reflection of that to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So it was like exciting. And there was just like a bunch of hotties. And I was doing my work, just like flirting around, having a good time. But it was a very temporary job. And I didn't even really always need to go into the office. And yeah, there was no like commitment to the job because it was for a project. And so that I think probably even added to the flirty nature of it because there wasn't this feeling of, I can't date anyone here because that just wasn't true. Like I wasn't working there. These were not my coworkers.
Yeah. And that door probably would have been like very open. I think that, and not that I knew of a lot of like dating, but dating going on inside the office, but it definitely didn't seem like there were any barriers preventing things like that.
Yeah, I think that might even be my own rule though. If there's like an ongoing situation, I try to not date within it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because then if something changes, then you're really stuck in there and that doesn't seem that fun to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't date within like the improv world.
I mean, it seems like a smart move either way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just no, I mean, a little shade.
And there's like a little what?
A little shade, I guess, on my part, but I never mind. Yeah.
Oh, what, were you throwing shade on that?
I was lightly, I don't know why though. Maybe implicit distrust towards the improv community. I'm not sure why.
I get it. I didn't actually catch the shade. So I'm glad you clarified the shade. And also I could have given another example of like a place like a workplace or hobby place.
I already realized I'm like derailing you from.
No, everything's cool. And when I was like 21 or 22, I hooked up with a guy in my building. There's only 3 units in the apartment in the East Village. And it was like the dumbest idea. So I'm sure I had that and a few other examples that I was just like, oh, no. I don't want to deal. But anyway, it was not that kind of situation. It was very freeing and fun. And then I did end up dating somebody from that office.
What?
You know that. You definitely know that.
Wait, no, please.
We have definitely talked about this because at some point you were like, I'm going to text him.
Did it start with a J?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm catching up now. Yeah,
Okay.
It's all coming back. Yes.
The coding. There's going to be one sleuth who's like, it's an office in Los Angeles. And people were good looking. I think I know. Okay, so.
The game of catch would have like instantly.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
They all got coffee. They ate lunch there. Okay, so then I feel like that was in 2016. Maybe 17.
Yeah, I'm never good at this, but that sounds right.
That was around the time that I left.
Okay.
My other job. So I think it was 2016 or 2017. And you and I like were friendly. There was like a funny thing where like the very first time we hung out at work, you were going to drive to San Francisco after work.
Oh, wow.
And you were like, do you want to come?
Yeah. Yeah. What was the context there? That seems so out of character for me to just like blanket invite you, like, or not like blanket is like I invited everyone, but for me to directly be like, Miriam, do you want to come to this?
I think it was maybe a little bit lighter than that. I don't think it was like you, but I think it was sort of like you were just being fun and you didn't actually think I was going to because I was already at work. I wasn't really going to go because I needed a toothbrush or whatever. But I actually for a second considered it.
I think I would have not said that to many people. No. I 100% would have. But I think that everything you're talking about, like about that office culture, you embodied that. Like my recollection of that was instantly you just like fitting right in and us all like, shooting the shit and having fun.
Yeah.
which was cool. So that's probably why I, from what I perceive out of character, would have been like, yeah, come to San Francisco.
Yeah, which is fun. So it was like, I didn't have to go to San Francisco for that to already feel like a tiny bit of an adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Like that already was sort of like a fun, like brain opening, like, whoa, what if, It's like alternate universe. Like I totally went to San Francisco.
Yeah, it was like early stage of us being like, oh, cool, like we get along.
Totally.
Like this is like we're able to like dialogue easily.
Yes, and I think there was probably some jokes.
Oh yeah, must have been.
I think that you don't invite somebody in a car if you haven't made a joke together.
Yeah, I mean, my memory of that time was only jokes between anyone there, like very little seriousness at all.
Yeah,
like surface level humor. Which was fine. You know, like that at the time was perfect.
I didn't feel like it was bullshit though. Maybe you did.
I mean, I'd been there longer, there's a lot of nuance for me, but I agree. I think
because I've definitely had conversations that were like, that are nothing. And it felt fun.
No, there was a lot of fun there. There definitely was. And I think that you brought out a lot of the goodness there. So it makes sense that the look back on that moment wouldn't be like an empty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you invited me to a party at your house, maybe like 8 or 9 months later. It was definitely like after I hadn't been there for a second. So it was nice that you invited me. It was sort of like you remembered who I was because we probably hadn't like talked in a while. Mm-hmm. And I went and had a super good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that being a good time too.
Yeah, hung out with like a bunch of people from your office. Someone from your office was this is not going to be interesting, but his grandmother was married to my high school boyfriend's mother. Maybe that is interesting. I said that more quickly than I thought. I thought it was going to take like 20 minutes to explain, but it was interesting and fun. And there was just, and it was like cool to see your house. And I think you did a good job. And yeah, I mean, again, like the people in that office are a good time. So I had a good time, even though I didn't really, really know anyone at the party and I didn't bring anyone, which was a good choice, I think, because it meant that I like entered in.
Yeah, you met a lot of people outside of work too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there were a lot of different, parts of my life kind of came together for that very rare party because I think that was the first and probably only time I ever had a gathering. So, but yeah, and once again, I think this is a reoccurring thing that you're very good at, just connecting with people. Because I recall you just blending in with everyone very effectively.
Cool.
Yeah.
Effectively.
That's how I see the world.
Check plus. Excellent.
Effective social engagement. Yeah. Effective podcast.
And maybe that was 2017 or 18. And then just to say that it was maybe a year and a half or 2 years later that you got in touch with me. So I hadn't talked to you in years. You sent me a Facebook message. Like, I don't think we had each other's numbers.
Yeah, probably. I don't think so either. But I do remember that Facebook message.
Oh, so tell me what you remember.
Oh, I set myself up there. I remember sending that Facebook message. I more so remember the emotions around it. I remember just feeling very comfortable sending the message.
Cool.
And I don't think I sent anything too special. I think it was just like, hey, it's kind of coming back now. But yeah, mostly to my memory, it was just like, oh, I think I can say hello and that's going to be fine.
Yes. So you said, I don't know exactly what you said. We could look it up, but I think you asked to hang out. And I think my response was like, yeah, cool, totally. Like maybe in a couple weeks or so, just like the way that like someone that you're not very good friends with, not even blowing off. I actually am really good at making plans and I love hanging out with people I don't know that well. And I always really liked you. So I was definitely like, cool, totally. But I wasn't like, let's make this happen ASAP. Like, I think you might have sent me that message on, say, a Thursday. I'm making that up. But you were like, how about this weekend? And I was like, I mean, I'm going to a birthday party on Sunday. I guess I could meet you after.
That's
and
so
you were like,
on my part.
You're
Wow.
like, yeah. You're like, yes, that'd be great. And I'm like, okay. And you did say, there's something I want to talk to you about. And I didn't know what that meant. And that was mysterious, but it didn't, like you are, I don't know that you would see yourself this way, but like you are kind of calm. There's something about you that's a little bit like relaxed. So even though you said something like, there's something I want to talk to you about, I think the vibe was like, yeah, there's something you could talk about. Like it was so, even though it was in Facebook Messenger, it was definitely not like aggressive. You are very non-aggressive. And so
I appreciate, by the way, that, you're not like interpreting any of what I'm presenting as like.
No way. I mean, that's just not who you are. And I think probably something about the wording was clear that like there's nothing intense going on, but you wanted to hang out soon and there was something specific you wanted to talk to me about. And I didn't know what that could be about because I felt like it was something personal, because if it was a work thing, you would have said exactly what it was.
Yeah.
You would have been like, I mean, we won't give an example because we're keeping you anonymous, but, that's like interesting. And like I said, like I always really liked you. So I was like, cool. Yes, I can make that happen and like leave this sound bath birthday party and come meet you at a bar in Echo Park. What? No,
it's, memory. I've never really like thought of myself as like a great person for recall. So I'm appreciating, how we're going through this because it's nice for me actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's great. Love that. Thanks for that. So we meet at this bar. I'm not going to name which one, but do you remember which bar? Like just the places? Cool. And I do remember that a friend of mine was there. And so we were having this like good conversation. And I don't actually remember at what point he stepped in, but he was being really like negative and depressed.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And you and I were laughing because it was so funny because you and I were having like a super good time and being very jovial. And then this like really depressed guy literally just sat between it. Like it was, and then we were like laughing at how funny that was. Yeah. It felt like a TV show. It was like, what? Because you and I were like, like so exuberant. And then it was like, oh, fucking okay.
Yeah. It was like sad clown energy.
Totally. And it didn't bring us down, but it was very funny how different it was from how we felt because we were feeling buzzy. So we sat down, I think for like an hour and just talked about life and caught up and I don't know, just had fun and made jokes. And I think it was really nice.
Yeah, it was really easy.
Yes. Easy like it would have been if I had driven with you to San Francisco.
Yeah.
So about an hour in probably, I was like, hey, so what do you want to talk to me about? And do you want to say what you said? I mean, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And feel free to like correct. But I mean, I think the core of it was, hey, I'm beginning to explore an open relationship. And I'm not sure why I felt like, you would be a safe person to reach out to and, to talk with about that, I guess. And obviously there was a part of my brain that was like, maybe, Miriam could be a person I explore that with, getting ahead of myself, but that was in my head.
Yeah. No, I think that was spoken.
Sure.
Yeah I think that was spoken right away. I think, okay, so one thing I should say is that the last time I'd seen you, you were not married. And then when you sat down at the bar, you had a wedding ring. So it was like, okay. Because I think that maybe part of me was like, maybe he's asking me out. And then when you sat down, I was like, oh, he's not, because he got married since the last time I saw him. And then an hour in, even at that point, you just said something like what you just said about like, you thought I'd be a good person to talk to about it. And I thought that was because you knew that for many years I'd been in open relationships.
I'm not sure if you had ever said that. I don't know if we ever got to that type of conversation before that moment. I want to say we didn't.
Yeah, I didn't think that I had, but there's a world in which I like totally casually mentioned it because that was what the conversation was. I don't think that's necessarily the thing, especially in a professional situation, but like, I don't think that's necessarily the kind of thing I wave around. But I thought maybe when you said I'd be interested in talking to you about this, I definitely did not get the sense that you were saying, at least initially, and I'm interested in exploring that with you. I thought it was like, you know about this. I want to get your advice.
I think that in my head, you were a fun person, seemingly responsible person, and a cool person, and just an easy person to talk to. And I probably just needed someone to talk to.
Yeah.
And so you checked those boxes. I think I just, shot my shot.
Yeah. I'm very happy to be that person for any audience member, but also for you.
Thank you so much.
But you did pretty much right away, because I was sort of like, oh, you want advice about this? And you were like, yes. And also I'm interested in exploring this with you.
Wow. So bold of me.
I think it was like we were sitting there having a good time. I think there's almost no reason to not say that.
Yeah.
And I think maybe I also was like being a little bit flirty. I don't want to say that if that's inappropriate to like the scenario I thought we were in. But I guess, maybe there was some sense that like that would have been cool.
Yeah. And I mean, I think a certain amount of like, there's a vague space around like, flirtation that is more so just people getting along and like having a good ability to speak to each other, that is not necessarily the same as like, this is a very intense flirtation that, is filled with a ton of subtext.
Yeah, that was well put.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Great. Good job. I think once I understood that you meant me as a person to date outside of your relationship, my question was, are there any boundaries to this?
Yeah.
Because that was something that I'd asked somebody another time who was in an open relationship. And I remember he was like, yes, this can't go to a 10. It can go to a 2 or a 3.
Oh, that's a smart thing to say. Maybe. I mean, it sounds like a boundary. It sounds like a clear boundary.
Well, it was a clear boundary, and also it made me not interested.
Interesting. Okay.
So I slept with him once because I had to, but I did not go on a date with him again or sleep with him again.
Yeah.
Like that was his boundary, made me have a boundary.
Yeah, I understand.
So you saying you also had never done it before.
Yeah.
But like in your heart, you were like, no, there's no boundary. And I was like, is there no physical boundary? And you were like, no. And I was like, is there an emotional boundary? And you were like, no.
Did I really say no to that?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I think you didn't know. I think you thought that.
Yeah. I mean, I probably wasn't able to share it with myself, but I think I was probably flailing a little bit internally.
Yes, got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
But apparently I kept it pretty composed.
I mean, that's maybe like a tiny bit of your persona, but I didn't get the sense that you were like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so confused. What the hell's happening? Like, it was more just like, you definitely were like, this is very exploratory. I have not done this yet, but like my wife and I are on the same page about this. And she even knew, like, she had met me. She even knew that you were hanging out with me. Like totally. Everything was very out in the open. And I think she even encouraged it, which is interesting.
Yeah. A big part of the reason like that any of this went forward was because, from the get-go, I think her perception was like, oh yeah, I remember Miriam. Miriam is like a very cool person. And for whatever reason, I think that there was a certain amount of confidence that we both felt in me reaching out to you.
I love that. Yeah. It's also so different. Like, I think that is true and want to like honor what you said. And I also think there's something about exploring that with somebody that you like have had some kind of a connection with instead of like going on Tinder as, like, it's so different.
Yeah. I really briefly experimented with that and just didn't like it. It was hard for me. I kind of was in a relationship before all of that really, I guess, popped off. And so I missed the intro to that world. Yeah. And in a lot of ways, it was a lot of work and I didn't want to go about it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, especially that kind of thing. I think it would be really different if you were just straight up dating, but to come with so much, it's very nuanced. Yeah. And
I genuinely did want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I did want someone I could like confide in and sort of, I don't want to say assist in helping understand, but yeah.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. I do remember you walked me home. There's a world in which we held hands.
Interesting. Yeah. I could see it.
I don't totally know if it was not till like the second time we hung out, but I vaguely think we might have held hands on the way home.
There was flirtation for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
but holding hands is different. Like that is like defined a little bit. It's so different than flirting.
No, it is. It's
because you can flirt with like a barista for 2 years and not hold hands with them. Like it's intimate.
Totally.
So I have a vague memory of that, but it could have been like a different walk home. We hung out the next Sunday. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And at a different bar. Do you remember the bar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. I just think it's like easy to have like to place it, you know?
Yeah, no, and it's a lot of it is rushing back.
Cool. I love that. I'm surprised I remember so much.
I think this is a skill of yours, okay. and maybe it's maybe it's what a lot of people share and sort of a deficit of mine. I'm not sure. Okay. But either way.
I think I remember it for like emotionally important things.
I also realize how this is like it's not like none of this was important or meaningful or significant to me. And I'm like, I don't remember.
No. I'm not even comparing. I'm truly saying I think there's many things I forget. I think there's probably years, like full years that I'm like, what?
Oh man, same. Yeah.
But I think, this was like notable for me. And then so we hung out. I was dating someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I told you about it during that second date, maybe even the first time we hung out. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I ever told you this, but in therapy, I called you angel and I called him devil.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yes. Because you were so nice and he was kind of mean.
Oh, that's disappointing. I'm sorry that, I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's very sweet of you. There was just something like a little bad about that situation, but I was still like compelled by it. But it was like a very interesting thing to be dating these two very different energies at the same time. And that I think is the only thing I remember from that second date. I also remember that I said that I didn't want to kiss you yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
And I feel like it was around that time that I shared a song with you, and I think you were like listening to the song a lot.
Yeah. Oh man, I do remember that song. I don't remember what that song is.
It was "Take Me Down Easy."
There we go.
Yeah. I can't believe how much I remember this.
I'm trying to like block all the shame.
Why?
Because
I don't think it's at all. I'm surprised.
I'm impressed and appreciate.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
No shame.
Cool.
It's not helpful. Yeah, and then I think it was like another week, and then we decided to go to the beach, which is like very different. Like that's like different than meeting at a bar. Mm-hmm. And it was a far away beach.
Yeah, it's like a destination activity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was like a special secret beach I know about. It was a nude beach. And I remember I like shared something really personal with you and you cried. We were naked. So we'd never done anything and we were naked, which is really funny. But there's like not to say that it wasn't sexy, but like we have like a bit of a childlike thing between us in a sense.
Yeah. There's a lightness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it didn't feel that weird.
Yeah.
And then I remember I had to pee and I was peeing in the ocean and you were holding my hand so that I didn't like fall because it was like cold. This is February. And you kissed me while I was peeing.
Wow.
And that was the first time we kissed.
Wow.
Yeah.
What timing?
It was awesome. That's so funny.
Yeah. I have no idea what compelled me to have that be the moment. But yeah, I guess, it was, to my recollection, a good moment. So
yeah, it totally worked. It was very funny.
I think there was some falling too. I really don't want that to be just like, this is the time that I went for. Like, I think there might've been like, the wave comes.
Okay.
Like I think there was a circumstance that kind of like pushed us together a little bit more so than just like, let me just like bend down a little bit and give you a kiss right now. I hope, but whatever. I guess either way, it was fine.
It's very funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Immaculate timing.
That's great. I loved it. I loved it.
Cool.
And then so that was the first time we kissed. And then at some point we like pulled over on the side of the road. There was like really beautiful stars because we like went out of the city a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we like kissed a little. And then that was it. We didn't like go back up to my apartment.
No, but
no, we didn't. No, we didn't. Yeah.
But it was a very fun time. And I remember us, just enjoying that time and it not feeling very forced. Yeah, just pleasant and light. It's returning back to like it being light, but the whole time it felt very light. Although the being at the beach did, in retrospect, start to there were some like moments of intimacy, not being nude, but there were moments of intimacy that I do remember were early signals for me, like, oh, I'm now confronting, actually experiencing intimacy with someone outside of my primary relationship. And I think I pushed some of those signals that were not, I don't want to say uncomfortable, but I think that I began to like experience what it was like to be close to somebody else. And I think I was pushing down any fears or nervousness that came from that so that I could, experience the moment more.
Yeah. And I think that is probably okay because sometimes it's like awesome to push past fear. And also, I don't know, it's like maybe there's a world in which it could have been a little uncomfortable and then became normal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's good. I don't think you not like articulating those in the moment is at all a problem because you were figuring it out and like watching yourself. And yeah, so like I didn't know that, but now that really makes sense that would have happened.
Probably would have been a more interesting conversation if I assuming I'd found the right moments to share those. In retrospect, I think it would have been a good conversation and maybe would have been more honest. But, I think sometimes you have to be honest with yourself so that you can be honest with others. And I don't think I was able to be fully honest with myself in that time because I was just, I was confused and excited and, obviously very happy. But yeah.
I think also sometimes you have to take a beat.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you're in the middle of something, I think when you're in the middle of something, it's cool to experience it. And then once you're out, like think it over and see how you're feeling. I think it was pretty awesome that we had that day and just had fun that day. Obviously you were like also had an extra layer to it because I was just like, la, la, la. But actually now that I think about it, I probably was also experiencing that because I freaking broke up with that devil that week.
I don't know how much we talked about that at the time. I think we did.
I think I told you that.
Yeah.
And I don't think I was being like so big pressure because it almost sounds funny. It's like, you are married. I'm going to break up with some guy. And it wasn't just because he was the devil. It was because I wanted to focus on you and the feelings I had for you.
Wow.
Which is a big turning point for me because I spent 20 years doing open relationships and always dated a million people and always had like one primary, but like not even someone I was necessarily in love with. And then would like date 1,000 other people, and was always free and it was so fun, la, la, la. And so it was a turning point in my life in general of like being more interested in like really engaging with someone and like having feelings and, committing. And it's just so funny that I was like, yeah, I'm going to commit to this married man. But yeah, that was like I think it was just like, it didn't maybe make that much sense because and again, there was part of it that this guy was like maybe a little bit of an asshole clearly, but I would not have broken up with him if it was not for you. I would have kept it going and eventually broken up with him. But, it was like, I was feeling things for you and I didn't want to not be able to like just feel the feelings.
Yeah.
So we kind of were both having that experience of like, this is a lot.
Yeah. I also, at that time, so much of this was for me, I think, wanting to draw parallels between my wife and I's experience. And at the time, she was, I guess, spending time with a person or dating a person. And that seemed to be at this certain emotional and physical level. And I think I wanted to experience that also. And so when we were both beginning to experience that positivity together, and that bond, it felt right to me because it, in some ways, felt like it was paralleling. Like I think in some ways it felt almost like I was sharing an experience with her by sharing an experience with you.
Wow, that's interesting. I had never thought of that aspect of it. That's very interesting.
And that's not even what we were talking about. So
but that's super interesting. I mean, there was somebody that I was like really in a relationship the first time that I like started to open up, and we were like monogamous for the first 2 years and then open the second 2 years. And we're still super, super good friends. And I remember it was kind of romantic.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. There was a ton of romance. I mean, that whole date was like,
I don't mean between us.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
I mean, I certainly between us. I mean, yeah. Stars. No, I mean, it was romantic with me and my partner to be in sync about being open.
Oh, yes.
So
okay.
I didn't really think about the fact that there's a world in which you and your wife were kind of connecting because you guys are both like in agreement about this thing and doing the same thing. That's like a very interesting aspect to all this. I also wonder whether you starting to really feel something for me made you uncomfortable thinking that your wife could be feeling that much for someone else.
That maybe would have required a bit more honesty with myself that I didn't get to at the time. I think that I was charging forward and just allowing myself to see it as an experience, that because it felt positive for both of us and it felt positive with her and that partner at the time, that I think it did just feel like a good thing and something that we could share. And I love that you described what you had said about the relationship where you got to feel some type of romance with your partner. I think there was that. Yeah. So I appreciate how you communicated that. And I think there were some similar experiences in ours.
That's cool. I hadn't thought of that like part of the story. So it's cool to hear that. You just used the phrase charged ahead. We definitely charged ahead. Like you and I made a plan to go to a hot springs in Northern California.
Yeah, this whole thing was very fast forward.
Like we made a reservation.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's sort of jumping ahead too, though.
No, that was right then. I think that was
right then?
Well, because there was not much left, honestly. Like that was after that beach date, I think. Because that was the third Sunday we hung out. And then the next Sunday, you tried to take me on a hike.
Oh.
Kind of far away.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because we'd been at the beach the week before, but we tried to go on a hike and a road was closed because we didn't have like chains for.
Yeah, the weather was bad. Yeah, totally.
And so then we went back here, and I'm just going to talk freely. And if there's anything you, again, don't want me to include, I won't include it. And then we came and we were like kind of all over each other that day, like in the car. I was like,
we crossed the threshold.
I was excited. Yeah. And then, we came back here and we had sex. So we had like only kissed and then we had sex. Like we just like, and that was the fourth Sunday we'd hung out.
Yeah.
And I think at that moment maybe it was after that we made the plan to go to the Naked Hot Spring.
I think it was.
Okay.
I think either in that same moment or very closely after.
Right.
I think it might have been immediately after, actually.
It might have been immediately after. I kind of vaguely remember that. Because then we like spent some time together. Like I think we kind of like spent the day together.
Whereas in that moment, that was like an extremely beautiful moment. And it was a positive moment. I was grateful to have had that moment. And at the same time, internally, I was just full panic mode.
So I didn't know that.
Yeah, I concealed all of that, unfortunately. Unfortunate for both of us.
It's fine. The spoilers that it's fine. We made that plan, and I think maybe I am intense.
You are present. I don't know if
That's
intense
beautiful.
is.
That's lovely.
I mean, maybe that's a cool thing to own, but
that's a really cool distinction. I'm definitely also like unafraid to move forward with things. So things, and again, we can remove this, but like, it was really fun having sex with you.
It was
like,
very fun.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very fun for me too.
Like, wow, like very well fit, like very suited bodies.
Yeah.
And I absolutely can take this out. You hadn't had sex with anybody else in a long time, aside from your wife.
Yeah, no, years. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that is exciting for both of us.
Yeah.
Like that's exciting.
Totally. There was a lot of electricity, like
Yes.
a lot of positive, anxious energy.
Yes. And I don't really think we could have done it differently. I mean, you can always do things differently, and maybe you feel like you should have, but at least for me, it felt there was such momentum.
Mm-hmm.
It's like sometimes you just need to like live life.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry if you feel like you did something you shouldn't have done. For me, it was like so natural and so fun and like right feeling that I don't think we could have done it differently.
Oh, I want to clarify. I don't want to say I don't think we should have done it. I think that we practiced a lot of restraint because I think that tension was there pretty early on.
Yes.
And I'm saying restraint, and I'm realizing this was over the span of 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So maybe that not that much restraint, but yeah, there was no regret. It wasn't like, oh, this was a mistake. It was,
Cool.
It was other feelings. It was other complications internally. Not like, oh, I'm so unhappy that I, decided to be intimate with this person.
Cool.
Yeah.
Which honestly, if that was true, that would be okay because it would be the truth. Like I'm so interested in the truth that I just like to hear it, even if it's like, oh, huh. And then that week, you told me that you were having some trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And that it was like getting confusing and getting hard. And we met up, I think maybe that Thursday, and we got tacos and talked.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, this is hard. I did some things that were like a little bit outside the bounds of what I think is okay.
Yeah. And I'll clarify. It wasn't outside the bounds of any agreement with my with my wife. It was outside of the bounds of, I think, my own comfort. And I didn't know that until I went past that boundary.
Yes.
But once I went past that boundary, I knew it. I felt it. And that was an intimacy boundary that I didn't know I wasn't ready to cross until I crossed it. And once I did cross it, I was just filled with fear. And I hadn't been filled with any fear up to that point, but just overcome in a way that I haven't experienced since. And I don't know if I had ever experienced, but yeah, to me, that was the first real time that I thought, okay, now I feel separate from my wife in a way that I hadn't ever felt. And that feeling of separateness terrified me.
Wow. Wow.
It filled me with terror.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
I'm not capable of this on so many levels. And I didn't know that until that moment. But I knew it then. And then that was followed by, just not wanting to treat you in any unkind way or treat myself in any unkind way, treat my wife in any unkind way. I just felt like I had gotten into some amount of deep water that I wasn't able to tread.
I think there was a lot of that I knew. I don't think I knew that fear was like the primary feeling.
Oh man. Yeah. That's primary driving force in my life. Are you kidding me? That's, yeah.
I thought it was overwhelmed.
Yes.
But that's a little different. And can you explain, like, was it fear of losing your wife?
It was.
Yeah.
It was. And she had, I wasn't the first, I didn't cross that boundary I wasn't the first one to cross that threshold. I don't want to say boundary. Boundary feels like the wrong word. There was just a lot of nuance in the openness of our relationship, and we were both kind of exploring it. And I don't know, for whatever reason, me crossing that line doesn't feel like the right word either. I'm having a hard time finding the right way to communicate this, but yeah, that was just it. It was just too much. It was too much. I think I felt very close to you, and I think that because it wasn't just some arbitrary sexual experience, because there was a lot of closeness, and I felt very connected to you, and I felt that intimacy, and I felt, a certain amount of like, understanding and like connectedness and closeness. I think maybe it was even too close, and I couldn't get that close to anybody else.
I feel like you just explained that so well.
Oh, I mean, I stumbled, so thanks for saying that. But yeah.
Yeah. It actually like feels good to hear you say that.
I don't think I've definitely explored it a lot in my own head, but I don't think I've put it into words in that way so directly. Yeah. And obviously I haven't put those words directly to you either.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Because at the time after, I mean, we'll go to this, but I wasn't thinking clearly immediately after that. And I think I got pretty cowardly.
Well, I kind of redirected it. So that was, I don't totally remember the timeline, but that was like a Thursday that you were starting to tell me that you were uncomfortable. And then we had a phone conversation, I think a few days later, maybe Monday, but like, yeah, maybe Monday, something like that. But like within certainly a week. And you said that you couldn't continue being romantic with me, and that you and your wife were closing up the marriage, which is a horrible term. You were unopening. You were, whatever.
Yeah. Returning to monogamy. And which was like very, very surprising. We also canceled Harbin, I think before that, because of COVID. Yeah.
I mean, this is the insane thing. This happened truly. This is like late February. Mm-hmm. I mean, it might have even bled into March.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
2020.
It was around, I don't think that I, at that point, was, not that I wasn't taking it seriously, but timelines are tough, obviously, for me.
I don't think I was taking it seriously until I remember being like, 2-week lockdown? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I live alone. Like, I was like, yeah.
Totally.
I definitely couldn't believe it and didn't believe it. And my, reasonable people were being concerned. And I was like, that's not a big deal. Like, of course. I mean, a lot of people you couldn't have imagined.
But I mean, yeah, it was good that we canceled. I mean, that was a good call. That was a smart
I think
move.
Maybe we canceled because of the situation rather than COVID. I cannot remember.
I hope that it wasn't me using COVID.
No, I don't think so.
I think we did it mutually because I was being like, I think I wasn't being myself at that point. And I also think
like maybe your wife had to cancel something also. So it's just like, she was maybe going to be out of town that weekend also.
Oh my God, you're right.
And then, like COVID was already doing the canceling of certain things. And I remember like South by got canceled and all of us were like, wait, what?
I also want to note that a part of that also was, and this is just like a struggle in my life, but there was a conflicting schedule moment in that. And what we had avoided, my wife and I, up until that point was, I think a big part of what had made it work up to that point was that we were each other's primary focus. And that was a moment in which I think I began to make a previous plan that we had almost seem secondary. And that was also a boundary that like we started touching upon that, and that instantly didn't feel good. And it brought a tension in our relationship that we hadn't experienced in our experience being open. And so that was bad. It tainted the moment for me.
That makes perfect sense. I think there was also like a financial boundary because it was like you were spending money on a reservation and
totally.
So there was definitely like a lot of things conflating at once.
So much of that. Actually, that's a great call out because we have a lot of, we align a lot on our spending habits and our I don't want to say frugal, but we had been very selective about how we choose to spend money together in large ways. I think we'd always enjoyed and prided ourselves in affordable dates, I guess, just because we'd had some goals that we had been seeking out for a while and had stuck to that and been really good at that. And I think we had a lot of pride, and there was a strength in our relationship was our ability to do that together. And so this reservation was like substantially more than we generally would spend on anything. And that introduced, like very understandably, like unhappy feelings.
Yeah.
I
do remember when you told me that you needed to end things, you kind of just wanted to get off the phone, which I understood. It's like, it's very hard to do. Like we've all like told somebody something they didn't want to hear and been like, can I just do this by text? Like, it's like really, really hard to do because, like we all want to make everybody happy all the time.
Which is, definitely something I struggle with.
Yeah. I mean, I think, that's totally normal. And I wanted to take a second to have a funeral for our relationship. Because as much as I was thrown for a loop, although there was like a little, you had sort of warned me. It sounded like as the feelings were arising, you were sort of letting me know.
I guess, I don't know. I'm glad to hear that.
I didn't feel, and the fact that you were like a week before or 2 weeks before I was feeling something and didn't let you know, it's like, you let me know when it really mattered.
Yeah.
So I wasn't like mad.
For sure.
I was like disappointed, obviously.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make sure that we talked through just the fact that things had been really good and that we had this like really beautiful connection, and just to take a second to say goodbye to a beautiful connection that could not be, so that there wasn't this like more longing than there needed to be.
Yeah.
And more of a sort of like never ending feeling. Like I felt like there was like I wouldn't even say cut the cord. It was like a more delicate than that. There was like something that we were doing together.
Yeah.
That I wanted to do. And I have to say you were down to do. Like, I think initially it totally makes sense that you were like, okay, bye. And, but when I did suggest it, you were down, and like, I think we kind of back and forth, like said nice things to each other.
Yes, but you're being really kind to me. But I remember distinctly there being a moment where I think I was trying my best to put up a wall out of fear, and in a very caring way, you called me out. Interesting.
Do you remember what I said?
I don't remember the exact words, but I think you just you like understandably like had a lot of like respect for the time we spent together, and I'm grateful. And this is I kind of reflective of why I was able to reach out in the beginning. I think you communicated respect towards me, and you communicated a lot of respect towards yourself. And when I was just in panic mode, you sort of stopped me and said, like, quit that. We need to engage in this moment because it was meaningful, and you can't just shut this down. You can't shut yourself down, because that's not kind to me. Mm-hmm. And you were totally right. And it was hard for me, but I do remember us having an extended moment where we got to reflect and sort of look at what we were experiencing and think about what it meant and how it felt, and what it meant to move forward.
I mean, it's cool that you were able to switch gears.
I mean, it wasn't Yeah.
I think it's hard when you're in sort of like one track to hear what the person who's trying to get you to switch tracks is saying. And I feel like you did.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like I got exactly what I wanted.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so nice to hear.
Oh my God. I mean, I think that is really what I wanted. I wanted to say nice things to each other.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even just that I wanted to like hear you say nice things. I wanted to say nice things to you because it had been this like great situation. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was like a very special time. And
Totally.
yeah, that was sort of kind of like confirming, I think, my desire to reach out to you in the beginning. You did sort of confirm that choice, even towards the end, by, I would say, like taking on a little bit more of a mature, angle and sort of calling out the need to do that, because I was resistant internally. But I'm really glad that we did, and I think that was a much healthier way of working through the process than I would have done if I had full control, which, would have been just, like shut down, essentially like just shut down emotionally.
Yeah.
And you very caringly prevented that from happening, or at least gave us the opportunity to have that not happen.
Yeah. And I think that made me be able to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was such a challenging moment. I remember that final time that we got together and sat down and, just as you said, essentially said nice things to each other and reflected and grieved.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good word. Yeah, totally.
But it was positive, and it helped me too, because I knew that it was the right thing for me to move back into monogamy. But I also, I would have felt terrible if we hadn't had some amount of closure and, like a healthy way to communicate through it, and like a finalizing moment.
Yeah. I mean, and earlier when you were talking about passing a boundary or a threshold or a line or whatever, my thought was, because recently I've been doing that in my life. And even when I come up against something that's like too much, I think my feeling is like, I am grateful that I am in a life where I am going up against things and then maybe reassessing, rather than just being afraid of even going anywhere near the line.
Yeah.
And especially in like a marriage, definitely it seems like in this area, you don't need to go anywhere near the line, but just in general in life too, like we did like cross a boundary and then like move back and reassess and decide to do something different.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay with it.
Totally. And in some ways it was it was a good thing for my marriage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, I mean, just to confirm what you're saying about like the benefit of crossing that boundary and to sort of get past something and then experience that. And even if you have to recalibrate, I mean, COVID was a big part of it. And so timing really aligned in a very interesting way. But after you and I experienced the crossing of that threshold, boundary, whatever we want to call it, and then as my wife and I redirected our shared experience back into like a monogamous choice together, we went right into COVID together.
Wow.
And I mean, you knew our place at the time was like a extremely small little shoebox. And so we basically just stayed in that shoebox for 2 years. I mean, pretty stringently actually, but it completely transformed everything. And yeah, I think we were always very close and always very open to like experiencing things and understanding each other better and understanding ourselves better. But that strengthened things.
Wow.
Yeah. And I mean, and in retrospect, like, I don't know that I don't want to say never. I don't think we'll ever go back into exploring any type of like openness, because that time followed immediately by COVID and this like forced, like one-on-one journey. Yeah, it strengthened things in very interesting but positive ways.
Because you guys had been honest about what you want from each other?
Because we gave each other the space to try that. And there are a lot of reasons that we began that exploration. None of them being, and this was actually a big part of my mindset, was like, I never want to try this because we're unhappy. I'd want to try this like at our strongest, not at our weakest moment. Because I didn't want it to be something that is like a one step out the door and a way to like ease out of a relationship. I wanted to be, we are at a very high communication level and we're very close and happy. And so if we're going to try this, let's try it when we're feeling strong. And that happened. And I think coming out of it and still trusting each other and still like communicating at a pretty high level confirmed a lot of the positive aspects of the relationship. And then, being forced to be next to someone for 2 years only further confirmed, that what we were doing was the right thing.
I mean, that's really cool.
Yeah. It's wild to think that it's been 3 years. I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of things, that's not that much time, but it also feels like a lifetime. It's been a significant 3 years. So it does feel like a lot. A lot's happened.
Yeah. But yeah, hearing that makes me so happy for you.
Thank you. Yeah. Who knows? I mean, I can be grateful that it worked out. That's, not to assume there won't be more challenges in the future. Like, there always are, but I am grateful that we got to experience that we got to know each other better through that experience. And I am so grateful that I got to become closer to you. You were like probably the best person I could have ever reached out to, in terms of just like being a caring person and being like an open person and someone that I could learn with and from, obviously. But it was a very positive experience. I'm very happy that we did it.
Well, I love that. Makes me really happy.
Yeah.
I remember, I think it was like fall of 2020, I texted you because I had this thought that like maybe you and I kind of sensed that COVID was coming, even though we totally didn't believe it. And that maybe that's why everything was like so heightened and so sped up and so intense.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was going to happen, but that was an interesting thought that it was it is significant that it was like just before COVID.
It totally is.
There was this, it's cool to think that we were sort of tapped into the future without, being there yet.
And we did, I think, like have a full extended, experience that really could have been stretched out over a longer period of time. But
totally.
I think that we were able to experience a lot in a pretty short amount of time. And I didn't even think about that amount of time being as short as it was. Like it felt like a longer experience for me.
For sure.
Yeah.
But that's also really useful. It's like we learned the lesson and then we got out of there. And that's useful for your marriage and that's useful for me. Like that's cool. It's like all of the expansion happened, but it didn't have to take 11 months or whatever.
Totally. Expansion's a great way of putting it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was really fun too.
It was.
Also, we have the same birthday.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Birthday twins.
I'm curious whether you, and like sometimes these questions could feel like a nightmare or something, but like I was always interested in like you writing. I guess I like think of you as an artist and like wonder whether you've had some like fun in that realm.
Oh man. Unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
I've gotten deeper into my career, which has pushed me into like a whole different mindset. And I still struggle with the, I keep telling and it is still a challenge to try to honor both sides of, like how I see myself, which is, like a person that likes the technical sides of things and someone that I guess even has mostly a creative background. But it is hard for me to on or both at once. Seems like I have to dive into something, and I can't do two things at once, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a great reminder. And I hope I keep getting these reminders, because like, I don't think it's gone. I don't think it's out of me yet.
There's no way. That's totally how I think of you. Yeah.
I love that. How about you?
Oh yeah, tons. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It's been a really fun, interesting time. And even this project has been so exciting, and
this is extremely cool.
it's been really fun, very moving, and like, yeah, I mean, I also just thank you so much for being down.
Yeah. I mean, with all things related to you, you seem to be helping me, push myself in positive ways. This is another example of that.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm still very anxious, but I'm loving it.
Cool.
It's very fun.
Good,
this has been a fun first podcast experience.
Oh, you first?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me?
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. There are a lot of them.
This is, probably my last. I mean, who knows what the future holds, but like, you're probably the only one I would say yes to.
Cool. I love that.
About this.
Really, really appreciate that.
Totally.
And it's interesting because I feel like even not being in touch like the way we are, it's like, I feel like on some level we have been in touch. Yeah.
Totally. It wasn't a challenge to talk to you, to come in and do this. And yeah, it's, natural as always.
Yeah. And I have a lot of respect for you.
I have a ton of respect for you, and I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, it's like nice closure. It feels like, and I know we had that, and still there's something about letting some amount of time go by and, reconnecting and seeing that, things are mutually positive, and that, there's like a shared positivity, and it's a different type of closure, I guess, but it definitely feels like something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
is there anything you can think of that you want to make sure is said?
No, not at all, actually.
Cool.
I mean, we touched a lot of...
We really got into everything, I feel like.
Yeah. It feels like, I mean, I want there to be like a nice like closing to this, but I'm just drawing a full blank.
No, but I mean, I think there was like a great arc. I feel really good about it. Like my third eye feels open, like things feel really good. I feel like there's such a purity between us.
I feel it too. Although honestly, I felt that way when I listened. I feel like I mean, you already said that you shared another episode with me, but like listen to the whole thing. Like enjoyed it so much. Really like whoever that was.
Yeah.
Like, seems like a great person.
Yeah, you could say it was Chad's episode. Yeah.
Chad's episode. Yeah. Chad seems cool and intelligent and kind and good person. So
yeah. Oh, I'm so happy. Yeah. I saw him twice yesterday. He's like one of my closest friends.
Nice. Yeah. I would like to hear more of these.
Well, you will.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah. And there's some wild stories coming.
But
yeah, God, I mean, I just like, thank you. Cause I know it wasn't like the simplest thing in the world to agree to do this. And this like felt really good.
Cool. It felt good for me too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm like really happy.
Yeah. Cool.
That like really happened.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
I want you all still to answer my questions. I still want to know, how can you be so high?
That felt so good to be able to talk to him like that. And that we actually experienced closure together. The intro was so funny because I didn't want to say to you why it was interesting, but I just wanted to say, trust me. But yes, there's so much to say about open relationships. I'll definitely talk about that more in future episodes and what it was like to be in them. But I really liked talking about what it was like to be the outside person in one. And I'm really glad that Christopher was so down to reveal so much of himself and what happened. And as I said to him in the episode, I'm just so happy that what happened between him and me was good for his marriage. I mean, that is incredible. And I think I can feel that happy for him because he gave me a lot of love. something that I've noticed about myself is that if I don't get the amount of love that I want or need, I get anxious. And then if I do get that love, I can be very cool and forgiving. So even though that relationship ended, I was never mad. I was really happy to have had that experience. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious from that episode. And yeah, I have such a good feeling about Christopher. And I loved having you all here to hear it. So thank you. Until the next X.
X appeal is so real. X appeal is so real. X appeal is so real. You are open, you are closed. You are open, you are closed. X appeal is so real.